Hello everybody, the Destroyer here. Welcome back to another cast of the Rise of the Witch King patch 2.2 version 6. Today we have a 1v1 on Midgewater. So, let's jump in. We have our first player here. Souiadan? Oh, apologies, I have no idea how to pronounce that. Souiadan. Let's call him Dan. Sure. We have Dan there, and it's the Goblins in the top left. And we have Giannis. Or Giannis? I guess we'll call him Giannis. As Mordor there in the bottom right. So we got a Mordor versus Goblins. Excellent. On Midgewater, of course, which is a custom map that was integrated into the patch. It's very nice. That was made for the last year's Halloween tournament, of course. As it is very spooky indeed. Good map, though. I like the kind of almond soul kind of thing going on in the middle. It's got the runes like there. It's in a swamp. You got cave troll layers in the corners with inns as well. So they can capture those if they want. And of course you have the signal fire, which gives a very large vision boost as well as the power reduction time. So that's good as well. Alright, looks like Dan here is going for... It feels weird calling him Dan even though there's so much more to his name. Like I said, apologies. But yeah, he's going for Goblin Warriors. And we also have... starting with a lumber mill. That's an interesting start. Not every day you see someone starting with a lumber mill over a tunnel. But there you go. It looks like his opponent is actually doing the same. Intriguing. And he will be getting Orc Warriors there. Did that say 5 queued up? I guess zooming in doesn't actually increase the portrait size. I think he has like 3 or 5 queued up there. That's a 3. That's definitely a 3. There you go. So he's got a few in there. Although I find it's better to actually, instead of queuing up 3 orcs, build another orc pit. And then you can start getting them out quicker. I think that works a lot better. To get you more troops on the field later and sooner, rather than having them wait around queued up with that money spent already. But it's a little grape. Anyway, we have Dan capturing this signal fire here with a few little horde of Goblin Warriors. He's got another battalion on the field there. And now he's throwing down another Goblin Cave. Excellent. As you will need many a Goblin Caves. And it looks like his opponent Giannis going over here with some Orc Warriors. It is possible he is... Oh, there's also spider layers here. I forgot about that. So there's actually spider layer and troll layers in this swamp area in the corner. He probably knows there's an inn here, but I don't think he knows there's a cave troll. Because odds are pretty slim of him actually capturing that with an Orc Horde. I'm going to be honest. I don't value the chances there. But it looks like neither player are opting to harass the other, so I guess we'll have a bit more chilled game here. Wow, he's actually able to capture that without his cave troll aggroing. Oh, there he goes. By the time he's noticed, it's too late. Of course, one risk you do have is once these guys come out, they will get killed by the cave troll. So obviously that won't be great if he opts to do that. And it looks like Dan is now got a tunnel over here. He's going to be bringing out Goblin Warriors, and it looks like he will be going in for an attack here on his opponent, Giannis. Of course, Orcs versus Goblins. Goblins with their poison blades generally carve their way through the Orcs pretty well. But of course, Orcs can hold their own pretty well because they have numbers, and Goblin Warriors have such a little amount of life. So they do alright, but the Goblin Warriors will definitely win out there. Actually, this battalion against this battalion, without the poison blades, the Orc Warriors win, it looks like. Pretty big time as well. Interesting. And we now have a Haradrim Palace out from Giannis, who's now got Easterlings. He's got more Orcs on the way. Yeah, looks like Dan has got himself 3 Goblin Caves, going for a 4th, so he should have lots of Goblin spam out fairly quickly. Should be good. The more Goblins you have, the better. You can pretty much win with just Goblin Warriors, which is ridiculous sometimes. It can be very difficult to stop just a million Goblin Warriors. And of course, Goblin Archers for good measure is good as well. So he's utilizing the poison arrows, which is nice. You can also right-click on it to put it on autocast now in patch 2.02 version 6. So that's nice as well. Not a feature you used to have, so it's nice to have that as a feature now. We have a Gothmog on the field here for Giannis. Gothmog's pretty beast, but of course he won't do very well against a bunch of Goblin Warriors if he's alone or anything, so he's got to be careful not to leave him all by himself. Heroes take a lot of damage from Goblin Warriors. And of course, I don't think Gothmog has an AoE cleave, but I could be wrong. In fact, we could find out. And, looks like he's hitting one at a time. As far as I can tell, at least. War chant going down on the Goblin army. It looks like Tane Land going down on the Mordor army there. Indeed, that is the case. Easterling's not the best choice against Goblin Warriors, as you would expect, as Easterlings are weak against Swordsmen. But in case the opponent was going for Cav, that would make sense. Unfortunately, he isn't. So, Mordor's unit choice is not the best. He should really be upgrading the Souiadan Palace to get a thing of Souiadan Lancers or something. Souiadan Lancers and Orc Archers would be pretty good against Goblin Warriors. And his Gothmog is going to die here, almost. So be very careful. I think you can guess by now these players are not pro players, but I don't just cast pro games, so I'm just putting that out there right now. So don't get you judgmental. We have a Mouth of Sauron on the field now from Giannis. Gothmog did indeed survive, which is good because he is costly, of course. We've got more Easterlings, more Orcs on the way. He could do with more Orc pits. As Mordor, and generally speaking, you probably don't want just one Orc pit. Because, I mean, look at this. He can't keep up with the Goblins. You need more production buildings to keep up with Goblins if you're going to try. I mean, a Horde of Orcs would actually hold off a Horde of Goblins pretty well. Especially with the Archer support, I think. And it looks like the Goblin player is putting up a tower over here, interesting enough. Mouth of Sauron's going to die here. He'll die to poison. Watch the poison take his life. No? Oh, shit. Thought he was going to get away. Nope. But things are definitely starting to swing in the Goblin's favor. The Mordor player did not shut down the Goblins in any way, which is going to put things definitely on the Goblin player's side here. He's also got a spider pit, so Dan could get some spiderlings or possibly some spider riders. Spider riders would be good. Obviously, he decimates orcs and archers, but he does have the pikemen at least, preemptively, very preemptively. Is that battle tower glowing? Interesting. Doesn't even have fire arrows, so it has a light in it somewhere. It's kind of cool. It has like glowing, like a candle in there, maybe. Who knows? Dan is doing a good job of using his tunnel network, at least. As that is a good way to transport your troops around as Goblins, especially dwarves, but Goblins have it too. It's not as big of a deal to do it as Goblins because they're fast anyway, but dwarves definitely want to utilize your tunnel network. But I think it's good to do it as Goblins as well because it speeds things up exponentially. It also helps get surprise attacks and stuff. You have like a tunnel here, you can surprise your enemy from the back there. Stuff like that works out pretty well. Assuming you don't see it. There's a builder here. Unfortunately, that builder does get wrecked. And it looks like Giannis will most likely take this out. Which is good, because he does not want that there. He's also got leadership for his orcs, which is definitely going to help him out. Unfortunately, he does have some war-chanted goblins over here, right in the middle of his slaughterhouse and his one orc pit. And that is going to be the death of him, I think, once that orc pit falls. I mean, really, you can't go off one orc pit. That's just not a good play. But you live and learn, eh? But if he defends here, he'll have a decently strong force, I'd say. Mordor's not out of the game yet, by any means. But there is a lot of Goblin Warriors on the way. And we do have Spider Riders on the field now, as well as a couple of Goblin Warriors in there. He's got a Fissure now. Souiadan. Souiadan? I could just say Souiadan. Is that close? Souiadan. Fuck, I don't know. I can't even pronounce Lord of the Rings names, let alone whatever that is. There you go. Oh, nice. A Mountain Troll. Mountain Troll with a stick would be a very good unit for here. Even without a stick, just punching would be pretty good. He one-shots any Goblin Warrior he comes in contact with. But the stick, of course, gives him a bigger radius to do so. So I would definitely recommend giving him a tree. And make him a little gimpy attack troll of sorts. The poor man's attack troll, of course. Spider Rider is going to be a little bit problematic, but not for the trolls and Easterlings, of course. But with proper micro, he can get around and get these archers pretty nicely. Whether that will happen will remain to be seen. But definitely, Mordor's been on the defensive the entire game. He needs to really go on the offensive if he's ever going to hope to win this game. Otherwise, Goblins are just going to keep getting power points. As you see there, Goblins already have Scavenger, 4 power points, as where he has 15. But he is getting power points as well. But he's not shutting down the economy of his opponent like his opponent is on him. Because he's lost a few buildings here and there. Also, I definitely recommend building this closer to your fortress there, so your fortress can defend it better. The farther out you build your buildings from your fortress, the more defense you can expect to have. So the units can actually stand right here, and these can't do anything to stop it. That's why you don't build that far away from your fortress. And that's why he's going to lose his troll cage. That's an unfortunate loss, as it was upgraded as well. An expensive loss for sure. And things are not looking good for Mordor. Even with the heroes, just the goblins are doing what they need to do. Ah, man, it's brutal. These builders are just watching on disgust, watching on their hard work be flattened. More goblins being sent in there by Souiadan. Yep. We have the ability to build half-troll swordsmen. Half-troll swordsmen are pretty good. Half-troll marauders are pretty good as well. Half-troll marauders would be good against the Mouth of Sauron on his mount, as well as the trolls. There, he has a few of those, a couple of those as well. So I meant. Let's see how much vision bonus he gets from this tower. Pretty good amount. So this is definitely worth taking, especially in this map. Gives you a huge vision bonus around here, which is great. Because you can see if your enemy's going that way, you can see if your enemy's going that way, unless they go a little bit farther out. But most of the time when an enemy's moving, they don't go too far away from like the center of the map. So you would see his enemy. So it's a pretty key structure. But Mordor at this point definitely needs probably more archers. And let's see. Cav. I don't know why he hasn't got any cavalry. Cavalry would be very, very useful here. He is moving his goblins in clumps, which makes it difficult for cavalry, but at the same time, it can still help immensely. So I'd definitely recommend that. Yeah, of course, it's not going to do jack squat against those. I wonder how good Corsairs of Umbar are against half-troll marauders. It's still a swordsman against pikemen scenario, so I'm not sure. Because they don't get armor or anything, but I mean, I'd imagine they still do pretty well. So perhaps Corsairs of Umbar would be a good choice this here as well. Also, he does have this inn, and I don't think he's utilized it once. Yeah, he can actually make Corsairs of Umbar. Actually, if he queued these up, possibly to run away immediately, he might be able to get him out of there. But he'd probably still get hit by the cave troll, so he'd have to go send something over there to deal with that. Possibly the Mouth of Sauron, maybe. Could go deal with that if you wanted to use that inn over there. Oh, he's got the fire arrow upgrade on his sword, which is good. Goblin warriors dropping like flies. I think they die in one shot anyway, though. So I don't know if that was a good use of whatever, how much that is for that upgrade. But at the same time, it's not a bad thing. It'll help with the stronger units, like half-troll marauders and such as well. Let's take a look at PowerPoints again. We're up to 12 for Souiadan. He's at 165 of 875, and we have Barricade. We got 14 PowerPoints for Giannis. He's at 539 of 575. Yeah, Mordor's definitely not doing great in the economy front. You need to expand. There's probably plenty of places he could expand to. He's just not doing so, which is unfortunate. He could build a thing right here. No one's built over here. I mean, lots of unclaimed land. Turtling up generally doesn't lead to victories. That's probably a good rule to live by. If you turtle up and let your ally or your opponents just build up their economy and their armies, you're probably going to lose the match. You can't really do that very well. But, you know, you do what you do, I guess. I'm going to just look at some units there while I wait for one of their armies to move in. It's hard to look at the units with that buff nugget on the bottom. The particle effect for the buff. It's very hard to see through. And we do see Scavenger coming into effect. Slowly getting money here and there. Plus ones from each orc. Orcs aren't worth much. So, neither are Goblin Warriors, of course, but he doesn't have Scavenger or anything. The Cave Troll's doing wonders, but, like I said, he would benefit from giving him a tree much, much better. Rockthow's okay, but he'd be killing giant chunks of Goblin Warriors with one swing of a stick, as opposed to a rock that hits a couple. It's much better. Much, much better. He's also taking a lot of damage from something. Not sure what. Ooh, I guess it was a Gorkill. Gorkill was in there. Sounds like he did die. What the hell is he? Where's his corpse? Oh, nice. Poison arrow barrage there. It does a little bit of damage. The poison arrows aren't great, but they are not. They're still worth using. And he's rectified his mistake. Now he's got his troll cage closer to his fort with protection of the barricade expansions. Now he's got attack trolls in the field. And they will, of course, show what I was saying the whole time that he could have done with these mountain trolls for much cheaper. Assuming he doesn't just run them into these half-troll marauders. I hope he doesn't. But attack trolls are pretty savage. And for the first time, Mordor has finally pushed out beyond his borders. Looks like he's also got a hero over here. Possibly looking for some goblin tunnels to take out. We do have a worm summon here. Managed to get a cave troll, or mountain troll rather. I wonder if he knows he can reposition the worm. If these players are indeed new to 2.02, they probably won't know that you can reposition the worm, as that is, I believe, a 2.02 specific feature. Because you can't reposition in 1.08, I'm pretty sure, of BFME2, or 1.06, or any of those. Or the base Rise of the Witch King. Although it has repositioned itself, or he moved it himself. Either way, it's doing alright. Although not targeting down the actual expensive units. Worms are much better used against the base, but yeah, this isn't too bad. He could have shut down the attack troll production with this worm, though. That's probably what I would have done. And the attack trolls lived through that attack. They didn't even get touched. So it was definitely focusing the wrong units, to say the least. But we do have a Drogoth that's going to shut down any trolls easily. Unfortunately for Mordor, his only choice, or chance of victory, pretty much going to be crushed here by Drogoth. Those few Arc Archers are not going to do anywhere near enough damage. And flying units do pretty good damage to trolls, just like they do to Mumakil. Although, actually, attack troll pretty resistant to Drogoth. Much more resistant than a Mumakil is, actually. That's kind of surprising. It is level 3, though. to be fair. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. I mean, it does give him a health increase and whatnot. But look how many swoops Drogoth has had to do just to kill that one guy. Oh, nice Evil Eye there on Drogoth. That is definitely the hero you need to counter Drogoth with Mordor there. A mistake I made recently was not getting Mordor, or my Mouth of Sauron leveled up when I was facing a Drogoth, or any fell beasts, any flying creatures. He does really well with that Evil Eye. I remember when Evil Eye used to one-shot things. That was the days. Or you used to have to hit the enemy like a couple times, like an enemy hero, and then use it, and then you used to kill him. Drogoth is going to die to the Witch King here. And that is an unfortunate loss. That's a big loss. I mean, the Witch King could be lost just as easily if he's not careful. There's a few arrow towers here. And he would be smart to get him out of there, I think. Now it seems like things are picking up in Mordor's favor here. Mouth of Sauron is going to fall to the little fire drake broods, though. Ooh, ouch. Witch King just swooping down and instantly killing all of them. Jeez. Brutal. Mordor needs to keep up the advantage, though. He's finally got this advantage. He finally got the push. He needs to keep it coming. It doesn't look like he's been macroing too hard while he has been playing. Or attacking, rather. As he doesn't have anything building. He has a attack troll going, at least. Ah, okay, he's got a little bit. Never mind. Of course, he's going to need his hero rebuilds. He could do with some siege, perhaps. He probably doesn't even need it, actually. I think things are pretty well in Giannis' favor. Or Giannis, whatever the hell I called him. If he plays his cards right, of course. He will be rated over here, but if he ignores that, I think he'll be pretty well off. With the... ooh, Witch King is very hurt. But, of course, flying units, very useful for taking out things that aren't guarded by arrow towers, I suppose. Lots of resource production buildings. This attack troll could do good work here if it doesn't go in first. Oh, please don't send in it first. You could send in the orcs to tank the... ah, damn it. I mean, it'll still take a bit to kill this attack troll, but it would take a lot less damage if it wasn't being targeted first. Let the orcs go in, meat shield for them. He'd be better off. But it looks like he's got it in the bag. He's got 2 trolls here. They're not going down very quick. Actually, he destroyed one of those by proxy as well. With the large swing radius of the attack troll. It looks like Souiadan is going to lose his fort here. I don't see him taking out the second attack troll before his fort is taken out. That will probably seal the deal there. I don't see goblins coming back after that. And down goes Souiadan's fortress. Unfortunate. Does he still have a builder? Probably. Probably in the mine shaft or probably elsewhere. What's not in the mine? I mean, it's possible he doesn't as well. Who knows? What's this? Oh, it's Gothmog. Gothmog's up to level 8. Attack trolls are very powerful. They don't see as much use as they should. Sometimes they see use when they shouldn't. But they do pretty well against crappy units and buildings. Any kind of swordsman, they do really well. Just obviously not very good against pikes. Not the best against flying, obviously, since they have no ability to fight back. But if you can get like 4 of them, rush them out of enemy's fort, you will probably get that fortress. As long as they can. Oh dear. Gothmog is overextended a bit. Fortunately, Goblin Archers aren't the best. As you see, he's tanking those arrows quite well. And he's able to get away pretty easily. Oh, epic standoff. Arrow tower from a farm versus a barricade expansion. Who will win? We'll come back in 2 years and find out. Although Gothmog looks like he's going to finish off that thing. Looks like he's throwing up an arrow tower for good measure. He really needs to go back on the attack here. And finish off the goblins. Goblins do have a builder. There it is. So it's got a lot of laborers. Busy at work. Souiadan, nowhere near money for a fortress. His command point limit is very capped, up to 375 now, as where Giannis is now taking a huge lead. as his 700 command point cap, and a lot of money as well. So, I foresee Mordor winning here very shortly. Let's just put it that way. And I'm sure you would agree. Whether you would or not, it's irrelevant, because it's going to happen. Mountain Giants, of course, a terrible choice against flying units, as they do die very quickly. So that'll be an unfortunate waste of money for him. But I guess at this point, what else can you do, huh? Well, after alls maybe, I don't know. I mean, he doesn't really have the means to do what he needs to do here. I don't think Giants even win against attack trolls, to be honest. And, oh dear. Looks like he's going to finish it with a bang. The Balrog has been summoned from beneath the earth. Well, that's as good a way as any to finish off your opponent, I'd say. So that's good. So we'll just watch Balrog and the attack trolls wreck the rest of the Goblins' base. And that'll be that. I love the design of Balrog. He looks so good. This looks freaking cool. And Souiadan has been defeated. Again, apologies for butchering your name, whatever it is. There you go. That has been a 1v1 on Midgewater. So, it wasn't too bad. Obviously, like I said, not pro-level play, but not too bad either, I guess. And there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the next cast of the RotWK King Patch 2.2 version 6. See y'all next time.